Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Calibria. We are going to be doing a guide today on Lich King. I would say he is pretty easily my most requested hero for a build guide. So I'm going to go ahead and get him knocked out, show you how to approach putting stats on him to get him to do the things that you need him to do. If you're interested how I'm playing this on PC, I'm using an app called BlueStacks. There's a link in the description where you can download it and you will be able to play on PC as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at his skill set. He's got some interesting stuff going on. His first skill attacks up to 3 enemies. So it's basically random. I think it targets whoever you target, and then it's random from there. It could hit them more than once. It could hit other enemies. And there's extra crit rate here. So 70 crit rate would be enough on this skill for him to crit reliably with this skill. And when there's only one enemy alive, he deals 2 times damage, and it's 100% crit regardless. So, pretty interesting first skill. On his second skill, it is an AoE, and if he gets kills with it, it resets the cooldown. This is very strong. This is what makes him the best farmer in the game. If you get him to where this skill can one-shot the waves in your campaign run, he'll kill with it, he'll go to the next wave, he'll kill with it, he'll go to the next wave, he'll kill with it. He is doing 5-second runs for me occasionally. Sometimes the boss on the third wave of the campaign run stays alive, and it's like 9 seconds. But he's very fast. He's very strong. He's very fast. This is the skill to use if you're wanting to use him as a farmer. Okay. Beyond that, on his A2, you can have a single target with a really high multiplier, as well as max HP damage. This is particularly nice for dungeon bosses and things of that nature. Anything that's going to have really high HP and will allow max HP damage, this is a fantastic skill. And then his other one is another AoE with a pretty good multiplier, and it does more damage based on how many allies are dead. Okay, so pretty situational, but it's still not bad. I definitely prefer this one because I'm using him as a farmer. If you wanted to try to put him on some speedy dungeon teams, you could try this skill, but I think this one might even help you wave clear faster. It's a fantastic skill. It's got a pretty good multiplier. It's generally going to be the way to go. And then he's got 2 different passives. Resurrect as an invincible spirit after being killed for 3 turns. If the spirit kills an enemy, revive with 25% HP and increase on attack by 50. Effect stacks up to 2 times. Spirit may not be revived by other heroes. If all other allies are killed, the spirit will disappear. So basically when he dies, he doesn't really die unless everyone else is dead. It is hard to get rid of this dude. I'm sure you've noticed if you fought any arena teams that have him, he will hang around generally until you've killed the whole rest of the team. So this can be pretty aggravating. It can be pretty problematic. It is pretty strong. And then his other one, Resurrect, same thing, but he comes back for 2 turns. If anyone's killed, he has a 70% chance, 100% chance with skill ups to revive them and put invincibility on them. And then the spirit can't be revived, and if everybody else dies. This is pretty strong in arena as well. I'm thinking I'm going to be switching to this shortly. I ran into a pair with him and Destruction Idol, and he just kept bringing the Destruction Idol back. So I basically had to wait until this passive wore off so that I could get the kill. But it was very aggravating. I had to kill that Destruction Idol several times to get out of that fight. So very interesting passives, both pretty useful. I would say this one is more useful for PvP. This one's going to be more useful elsewhere, dungeons, and it's still useful in arena as well. I'm getting a lot out of it in arena. I've won quite a few fights because of this. And then in Guild War, he's got an insane attack lead. So pretty solid all around. This is a setup I would run on him if you wanted to make him farm, and that's what most people want to do with him. So let's talk about his runes. Now, you do not have to put this dude on a full Berserk set. That is what I have mine on because I had the pieces and because it's nice in arena. If I can't one-shot a wave, I can usually 2-shot a team. I said wave, I meant team. So occasionally he will proc the extra turns. Sometimes he'll proc 4 or 5 extra turns and keep going. But it is not mandatory. You can put attack on him. You can put agile on him. You can put wild on him. Those are the ones that I would probably say to go for. And then way later, if you get any crit damage, the destruction, those can be good too. But earlier in the game, attack is going to be fine. A 6 set of attack is going to be fine, okay? Get the attack on him, ignore some of the defense. That is fine. It is not Do not think you have to match what my Lich King looks like, especially if you're earlier in the game. Attack, agile, wild. Those are going to be the ones that you really want to focus on for him. And there's a couple of different routes you can go here. If he's exclusively going to be farming for you, then in slot 2 you can go with attack. Okay, I've gone speed. Again, I'm using him in arena as well as my farmer. And I can still farm with the speed here, so I don't need to go attack. Going attack really alleviates the pressure, though, of hunting down those stats to get him capable of farming, okay? So attack percentage here would be nice. It's a good way to go, okay? I'm only going to tell you slot 2, 4, and 6 because those are the ones that can have variation. So either speed or attack percentage here. Attack percentage is okay. If you can find a little bit of speed in your substats, he'll be fast enough to farm for you because he really just needs to be faster than the enemies once in the wave, and then he'll one-shot him, go to the next round, and rinse and repeat, right? Slot 4, earlier in the game, attack percentage. Don't worry about crit rate, crit damage here. Go attack percentage. If you want to put a crit rate rune here, you can. That'll put him up to 100 crit rate, which might not seem like a lot, even if you're not stacking crit damage, but having the crit rate means that he'll crit more often, and I think by default, he's got what? A 50%, he's got 50% crit damage, so it'll be a noticeable bump in damage, even if you don't focus crit damage on him, right? You can put crit rate here if you want to. If you've got a decent rune and it matches the sets and it'll fit in, you can go crit rate here earlier game as well. You can go crit damage a little later when you have the depth in your rune inventory to put a crit damage rune here and still hit the substats. You'll see how demanding, I'll walk you through some of my substat rolls. You'll see how demanding that can be and why that's tougher to do with a shallow rune inventory. So a little later you can go crit damage, but earlier in the game, attack percentage or crit rate there is going to be fine. And then slot 6, again, attack percentage. That's really non-negotiable. Slot 6 is the only one that's not negotiable. It's got to be attack percentage. Anything else there, you're going to really struggle to get the damage output out of him. And you can see here I got a 20% crit rate roll. Here I got an 18% crit rate roll. Here I got 11%. And then here I got 16%. So I got really lucky with some crit rate subs here. That's why I'm able to go crit damage, right? I was able to roll enough runes and get lucky enough in my rolls that I was able to pull that off. But speed or attack percentage here, attack percentage or crit rate earlier in the game here, crit damage if you're a little later, you've got the rune depth for it. And then here, attack percentage. In your substats, you're looking for a little bit of speed, not much, crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage. That's what you're looking for out of this guy, okay? Now, as far as what he is capable of, let's head over into the campaign and let him do a couple of runs. You can see what he looks like in action farming. All right, so we're over here. I'm just going to grab some of the food that I've been leveling up and let him run with them. These guys will be fine, and we'll just hit an auto challenge and let him run for a minute. And you'll see he does this with ease. This is not a problem for this dude. There's a reason he's notorious for being the best farmer in the game. Occasionally, he will not one-shot the boss, like I said, in the third stage. So instead of a 5-second run, it's a 9-second run because these little guys have to get their turn here. But either way, he's very fast. You can see 9 seconds, 5 seconds best run. He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. He hits really hard. Multipliers are solid. And it's not really that hard to hit the stats on him that you need. Again, for campaign farming, for the waves anyway, mine's a little bit overkill. I wish he would one-shot the boss reliably here. I don't know why he doesn't. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe, yeah, okay, he's violent procking for the 5-second time. A little bit more damage on him. I could one-shot those bosses and maybe get a 4-second run. But you get the idea. He's going to just keep using that A2. So as long as he can kill even just one every time he uses it, that'll be fine because he'll get it again, and then he'll kill the second time for sure. But ideally, he's wiping the waves in one hit and maybe two-shotting the final boss, okay? Beyond that, I use him in my arena team as part of my cleave. I'm out of tokens, so we'll just go ahead and refresh so I can let you see what he looks like in an arena team. How fast are you? Okay, we should be good, unless, yeah. All right, so I'll let you see what he looks like here in arena. And there are teams that can tank him. There are teams that have tanked his shots, but They have to be really well geared. It has to be very kind of specifically designed to be an anti-cleave team. Generally speaking, he's gonna just crush teams. Like I said, and he'll have his A2 up again if he kills anybody with it. So if he gets a second turn, he's gonna be able to do the same thing he did on the first turn. He's a super strong dude. He's a bad man. He's pretty good everywhere. He's obviously the best campaign farmer in the game. He's great for an arena cleave. I've seen him on some great stall defenses. He presents a lot of danger to a lot of different types of arena defenses. He can be good in all the dungeons for you because he outputs heavy damage, and he can help you wave clear. He does have a max HP skill to help you nuke down bosses a little quicker. He's pretty good across the board, pretty fantastic. If you get lucky and you get a second one and you want to sanctify him, I'm going to have to pull up someone else's sanctify skills here. If you would like to sanctify him, though, I think Fearless, I'm personally going to go Fearless when I get him because I'm using him in Arena, and when he doesn't have advantage or when he has disadvantage, he can struggle to kill sometimes. So I'm going to give him Fearless to get rid of that problem. But the Shields is also a pretty nice one for Arena, but I really like Fearless for him. This one, with the way that he's set up, unless you're doing this for dungeons, for like when the boss is below 50, this could output his damage quite a bit and help him nuke faster once the boss is on the other end of 50% HP. Other than that, he's generally designed to be one-shotting people. So Scorn, other than that specific way, if you're using him with the max HP skill, if you're using him in dungeons, this might be a good one to help speed up the second half of the boss fight. Beyond that, I wouldn't worry about Scorn for him. Restraint, again, this is very situational. If you're pairing him with someone who lands stuns and inability debuffs, it's something to think about. But, I mean, again, very specific. I wouldn't worry about it. And then here, Brave. Now, Brave could be pretty good for him because when he comes back in Ghost form, he's obviously got 1 HP, right? He's lost 99% of his HP. So that's a decent bump to his crit damage, right? So that could be a good one to use if you're putting him on an arena defense, okay? So there's some decent stuff here for him on arena defense, but I personally would recommend Fearless. I think that's going to be pretty good across the board. He gets the attack percentage, and then he'll never be at a disadvantage again when he's attacking someone. So that would be my recommendation for him. But killer hero, a lot of fun. Will drastically speed up your farming process. And congratulations if you got him. I'm really hoping for my second one at some point so I can sanctify him. I would love to get Fearless on this dude. But, we'll see what happens. So that's it. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Check out the link to the Discord in the description. Head over there and ask us questions. We're always happy to help. And I do stream at twitch.tv/JGigs, 6 p.m. Eastern most weeknights and randomly on the weekends. So hop in there and ask us questions if you have them. Other than that, I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you later.